All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. This will probably be my last video of the day, I think. Okay, so I'm going to make a very bold conversation and probably start an internet argument. As you know, you can do, yeah, that's pretty easy to do. But basically, I'm going to say jazz bass players do not understand metal bass players. A lot of times with the jazz bass players and metal players, because we like to use the same type of chord voicings and stuff like that. A lot of diminished stuff. Metal guys use a lot of diminished stuff. Jazz guys use a lot of diminished stuff, and stuff like that. But the thing is the cadences are completely different, And if you don't know what a cadence is, it's kind of like the arrangement of, if you hear like a 1-4-5 or a 1-5-4-5 cadence, that's your chord patterns, right? And there's too many to list. So popular pop songs will have usually very pop, like recognizable cadences. Like not necessarily a melody, but like the chord progression of this song and this song and this song sound very similar because they're using the same cadence, even if they're in different keys. They're using the same cadence, so it sounds the same or sounds similar, right? So I'll just explain it like that. And we'll leave it at that. But the jazz guys, what they don't understand about the metal guys is that the metal guys are usually using distortion, gain, or like, overdrives and stuff like that on their basses. So they're hunting for a bass that is different, even if there's similarities. So when it comes to like four-string basses, just about anything works for anybody. A four-string standard scale bass will work for metal just fine. But if you want to do that really heavy stuff, you need extended range, right? Now, if you're staying with a four-string bass, you can get, like, for example, a four-string bass with a 35-inch scale length, 36, 37. I've even heard up to 39-inch, which, that's god-awful long. I don't even know how you would you definitely be playing single notes on that because that's pretty long. I mean, I'm pretty good at doing stretches and full size power chords on my bass, but that would be impressive. So there is ways around that, but when you get into the 5 and the 6 string stuff, that's where like the metal guys typically need the multi-scale stuff, because what ends up happening is, yes, if you buy a bass like this and you've never tried the multi-scale or whatever, or understand what a multi-scales function is, you'll probably be happy with this until you try one, right? And I myself have not tried the multi-scale basses yet. And I think I've tried one or two multi-scale guitars, and they're different. They do sound a little different because the tension on every string, it's not as noticeable on the guitars, I'm sure, but on the basses it would be really noticeable because of the difference going from, say, 34-inch or 33 3/4 up to like 37-inch or something like that. You're going to definitely hear the difference of that scale length. The note, like that low B note on a 34, 35, and a 37-inch, even tuned to the same thing, is not the same frequency range. Like that low frequency of the 37-inch is just absolutely savage, but it's really clear, right? So the reason why I'm bringing up this video is that for advice of some people looking for their upgrade bass or whatever, what I'm finding is that if you're going to be a metal guy, hold out for a multi-scale if you're going to go for more than a four-string. You don't really need a multi-scale for a four-string, but there are some on the market. So I can imagine it does have some advantage, but the four strings are usually, tension's good enough on them that, the intonation's good enough on them that you can get away with it. But if you're going to be doing like drop tunings and stuff like that, then again, that's where you're going to need the heavier gauge strings. The multi-scale comes into play and it helps you out. So a lot of jazz guys, they don't tend to think that way. Some do, but a lot of them don't, right? So, a 5 or 6 string bass for a jazz player, they could probably just get away with a 35-inch scale, and that'll be good enough for them because they're not going to be using the high gain, and they don't need all that clarity. They can use more muddiness if they want. It's not good or bad. It just is what it is. So it's just something I thought I'd bring up because it's something that I've noticed. Anyway, I'll leave it at that.